In this video, we will learn 3 new Alteryx tools. All 3 of them are in the reporting category. We're going to learn the interactive chart tool, table tool, and the render tool. And I have them all added to the favorites already. So here's our workflow. It's gotten very cumbersome. We've done so many videos. We've gotten to this point. What I want to do, I'm going to add a little bit more to the workflow, but we're going to be running this workflow, and it has this linear regression tool, which I taught in the last video, and that causes the workflow to be rather slow. Linear regression tool takes a while to run, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete this tool. I can add it back before closing and saving the workflow. So now when we run the workflow, it will be much faster. What I want to do is get this stuff out of the way here. I'm just holding down CTRL control and clicking these things. Then I let go of CTRL, left click one of these and just drag it out of the way over here. I want to have some space because what I want to work with is this data right here. So let's run our workflow. And if you recall, when we joined together, we have our orders here, and then we have our order date, order ID, region, last name of the sales rep, items sold in the order, how many units that item was sold in the order, what's the sales price we sold each unit for, and so forth. And we had our total revenue and total cost. So let's make a new variable. We'll call it total profit. It's the difference between total revenue and total cost. But total revenue and total cost right now are string variables. So we need to grab a formula tool and make 2 new variables. One of them we'll call total revenue. We'll put in dollars like this. We don't want to rename it total revenue because there's already a variable named total revenue. It'll give us an error. And we've done this before in previous videos. This is a string variable, so what we want to do is we want to make it a numeric. And now if we look at total revenue, the reason I'm doing this is I want to get a variable total profit, which is the difference between revenue and cost. And I want to show you the interactive chart and the table and the render tools using that profit variable. That's why I'm doing this. Total revenue, we don't have any dollars in here, but we do have a comma. You see the comma that separates the 1 and the 6, $1,619.19. That comma, we need to get rid of that. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm replacing characters in the total revenue variable. What character? I want to replace the comma with nothing. And then we want to convert all of that to a number. Then change the data type to double. And we also want to do the same thing for total cost. So we can't subtract total cost from total revenue if they aren't both numeric variable types first. You can't take a string and subtract another string from it. Alteryx will give you an error. So let's copy and paste, just change this to cost. So we're taking our total cost variable and we're changing its variable type to double. Hit run. And then we can attach another formula tool and we'll add a column to this. We'll call it profit. It'll just be the difference between our 2 variables we just created, total revenue. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Total revenue minus, and then total cost down here. And profit we want to be a double variable, not a string. Alright, then what we want to do is we want to summarize our data. Let's just suppose, because you usually use the interactive chart tool and you attach it to a summarize tool, not to the actual data, but to some summary of the data. How do we want to summarize the data? Let's just suppose we want to summarize. We want to find out what our total profit was by item, by the item that we sold. So we want to group by item, and we want to, by item, we want to sum up the profit. We're going to hit run here. Here's the output from our summary tool. We sell 5 different types of items in those orders that were represented. And binders, our total profit on selling binders looks to be the highest. And then pen set has the second highest profit, as you can see. Then pencils, then pens, and then finally desks. So you can visualize here and see which item has the highest profit. You can look through this, but if you imagine there could be a, what if we sold 80 different items? You wouldn't be able to just visually look and see with the data like this which items are the top 3 sellers, for example. So that's the whole point of the interactive chart tool. It enables you to visualize the data. So we can attach an interactive chart tool to our summarize tool, and we can go and configure it. And let's do 2 types of interactive charts. So we add a layer, title the chart, call it total profit. Whoops. This is the title of the legend of the chart, not the title of the chart. The title of the chart we can change by changing this up here. So total profit by item. What type of chart do we want? Usually a bar or a pie chart will be good. Let's do a bar chart. On our horizontal axis, X will be the item, and on our vertical axis will be the sum profit variable. And there is our profit by item. Binder, desk, pen, pen set, pencil. Binder has the highest profit, then pen set, then pen, then pencil, then pen, then desk. So you can visually see the data. If you want to move the legend over, we can move it to right here. If you don't want a legend, you can just leave this blank, but then this is there. And I'm not sure exactly how to, what did I do here? Okay, that got rid of it. I'm trying to decide how can you delete this thing. I think you have to, not exactly sure how to delete the legend. Hide. That hides the legend. There we go. I went to legend and hide. And then you go back and if we want to make this thing title profit by item, you can do it this way. And there's the title. So I got rid of the legend. Or you can keep the legend. These axes, you can change the way the axes labels are oriented. You can change them. You can go to the axes here, and you can change the axes to say, we can change the angle at which they're oriented from auto to say 45 degrees. You can see that would happen. If we have a bunch of different categories and they're all bunched up together, we can change their angle. We can change the width of the bars as well. There's all kinds of things you can do. You guys can fiddle with this and learn more about that. If you hover over the bar, it tells the actual value of the bar, $2,736.46. That was our profit for binder. So it gives you the category, the Y, and the X. So X was the binder, Y was the value, total profit. If you want to change the labels of the axes, we just left click on it and change it. Total profit, I hit enter, and it renames it. So renaming the axes, same with item, we could rename it, but item seems fine. So that's an interactive chart a bar graph. You can save this interactive chart as a PNG file on your computer, and it'll ask you where to save, where do you want to save it. But usually whenever you're saving interactive charts or tables to your computer, if you want to save the file to your computer, you use the render tool, and we're going to show you that here in a minute. So that's the interactive chart. If we click on this again, it saves what we had in there. It just comes right back up what we last did. If we want to view the chart without clicking on Configure Chart, we can attach a Browse tool, and then if we hit Run, our chart shows up right here in the Browse tool. You can see it here. I don't really have enough room to show it, but all right. Let's suppose we wanted to, instead of doing a bar graph, we want to do a pie graph or a pie chart. We can connect another interactive chart tool here, and we can configure it. We can add layer. Let's suppose we do want it to have a legend, and we can name it. We could say total profit by chart, by item, I mean. Let's make it a pie chart. And for the values, those are the items, and our columns is going to be the sum profit. And, oh, I know why it's not giving it to us. Because we haven't summarized. Yeah, we have. Why is this not giving us our... It should put these numbers into a pie chart. Hold on a second. There's something I'm not doing here. Let's X that. Let's add a layer. Let's call it pie chart. We can get rid of that. Okay, yeah, I know. I selected the wrong thing here. So total profit by item. Our values is this, and our labels are the items. There we go. How do you want to label the pieces of the pie? Using the item by item. And then what decides the size of the pie? The values for the sum profit. And you can move this legend around. You don't have to even have a legend. And then we can title this thing. Even though we put here total profit by item, it doesn't title it total profit by item. For some reason, you have to go up here. Well, I did something there. I clicked something in it. Oh, okay. If you take away binder, not counting binder, here's the breakdown of the pie of profit. Not counting binder or pin set, there's the breakdown, and so forth. That's pretty cool. I didn't even realize it did that. Obviously not counting any of them except for one of them, the whole pie will be just one color, like desk or so forth. So there we go. There's our bar chart. Again, we can output it to a PNG file. I'm sorry, there's our pie chart. If you hover over the piece of pie, it gives the category of the item, binder in this case, and then the total profit. And the percentage of the pie that it makes up. It's a really good way to visualize your data. Of course, we can connect a browse tool to that as well. All right, finally the table tool, and then we'll do the render tool. What if we want a table of our data here, our summarized data. So here's our summary. Here's the results of summarizing our total profit by item. What if we want to make this into a table? Well, we just go to table, and here's the tool configuration for table. We might want to change first of all, let's center each column. So we go over here, click on it, and hit center. Do we want to rename this column? No, item is fine. What about sum profit? We'll center this and we'll rename it total profit. And then this dynamic or unknown fields is always checked. That doesn't affect anything in your table. So this is going to be a table with 2 columns and 5 rows, 1 for each item that we sell. You can leave these default things as they are, and this is what will be the output of it. We won't be able to see the output unless we do a browse tool, so I'm going to go ahead and connect a browse tool to it. Now we run. The interactive chart you can see without using a browse tool, but the table you can't. If we click on table here, right here, and we look at the output, it just says attach a browse tool, basically. So here's the browse tool. Here's our table. There's what it looks like. So that's how you create a table. All right, and then the render tool. What if we wanted to output, say, this pie chart or this table to a PDF file or a Word document or a PNG file? We just connect a render. Let's connect a render to the pie chart, and let's connect a render to the table. We want to output both of those. Let's output the pie chart to, so when you click on the render tool, here's the default tool configuration. You want to change this. You don't want to output mode to be temporary PDF document. It'll put the pie chart as a PDF document in your temporary folders on your computer, and you won't be able to find it. It'll be buried somewhere in your C drive. So you want to be able to choose where you want to put this file. So say choose a specific output file, hit save, name the file. Let's put it on our desktop so we can find it. And you have these options that you can choose from to render the file to. And this is that pie chart. So let's just render it to, we could render it to a PDF, but let's try a Word document or a PNG. So let's do Word document just for fun. So pie chart of total profit by item. Oops. Hit save. Before we finish, let's finish this. Before we run, let's this other render tool. This is that table that looks like this. Let's render that to. Let's go down here and change. Oh, not that. Yeah, choose a specific output file. Let's put it on the desktop and let's render that to a PDF. Total profit by item, we'll call it. Or we could just say table, to be consistent, table of total profit. Whatever you want to title the file. Hit save. All right, now when we run our workflow, our pie chart shows up right here as a Word document, and our table shows up here, saved in a PDF format because of these two render tools. So let's look at our pie chart. What does it look like if we open up Word? There it is. Beautiful. And then what does our table look like if we open up the PDF? There it is. Kind of small. We could change in our, if we wanted it to look bigger, we could change in our table thing here. We could make it more than 100%. For the table width, we can change things. The default table settings we could change to make the table look bigger whenever we output it as a PDF. So hopefully you guys understood these three tools: interactive chart, basic table, and render. And these are helpful for visualizing your data and rendering the output as a table or as a pie chart or as a bar graph to some file on your computer that you can then use. Like if you're doing a report or something like that, you can then use it. Keep in mind, before you do the interactive chart tool, you often have to do a summarize tool of your data. Summarize it by some particular category, and like we got total profit by item, we could have gotten total profit by the representative, total profit by region, and then you can attach an interactive chart and visualize that and then render the visual output to a file. So that concludes this video.